life is literally, it feels like a game. Like, it's very serious, but it feels like a video game. Remember the arcades?
Yeah.
Because at the end, you only have one life left, and you know once you lose it, your money's gone, and that's the end. But you have to advance through it. You can't just sit in one level and just be there and do nothing. What a boring time.
But you also will be stuck at the same level unless you can beat the boss that is the gatekeeper to the next passage, the next level up. And this is where it's very metaphorical for our lives, is we keep repeating the same things and doing the same dumb shit over and over again until we beat that boss. Until like, what am I doing? Whoa, realization. Holy, stop doing this. Short circuit that cycle that is no longer serving me and level up to the next level. I finally got the lesson. And the universe will do that. It will just keep sending you the same. Still haven't learned it yet. Still haven't learned it yet. Here's some more of what you don't want. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Budo Brothers podcast. You got Eric.
And Kyle.
I hope you have been enjoying the adventure called life. And the reason why I bring that up was I actually was cleaning out my room and I found an old choose your own adventure book. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Like 90s kid.
Yeah.
Where you would be like, to go to the mummy's tomb, turn to page 185.
Yeah.
To turn back and go save your friend, go to 194. It was an ability for you to pick your own adventure. And I used to read those books and change the decisions. And what I found out was each decision you make leads to another one. And that's very emblematic of real life, because the decisions we make and the adventures we choose to go on either open up or close off opportunities.
Very true. And how it's represented in a more modern way is video games. Video games, you go through and you have the games where you like select your path and you can select your responses, and it varies. Life is literally, it feels like a game. Like, it's very serious, but it feels like a video game. The difference is you know, when you're playing a video game and you used to play like Mario, or you know, now it's Call of Duty, and you only have one life left, you're way more serious about it. Or remember the arcades?
Yeah.
Because at the end, you only have one life left, and you know once you lose it, your money's gone, and that's the end. That's what life is like, but at a way more extreme level. You only have one life left, and you're playing this game. You know that like if you slip and fall, that's it. It's done. But you have to advance through it. You can't just sit in one level and just be there and do nothing. What a boring time.
But you also will be stuck at the same level unless you can beat the boss that is the gatekeeper to the next passage, the next level up. And this is where it's very metaphorical for our lives, is we keep repeating the same things and doing the same dumb shit over and over again until we beat that boss. Until like, what am I doing? Whoa, realization. Holy, stop doing this. Short circuit that cycle that is no longer serving me and level up to the next level. I finally got the lesson. And the universe will do that. It will just keep sending you the same. Still haven't learned it yet. Still haven't learned it yet. Here's some more of what you don't want.
It's true. And you know, when you play a game like, let's say Destiny, or a game where you get attributes and your character gets stronger, it's just like life. You build these attributes, knowledge, skill set. You get stronger. Like, you could go back in time and kick the shit out of yourself at 10 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But that's what happens. As you progress in life, you get armor, you get weapons, you get tools, you get all of these attachments of wisdom that you now take forward into your day. If you were to go back in time, you could cruise through the levels. They're so easy.
Oh,
boring. It would
how
take
did I
seconds.
how did I get stuck there?
Yeah. I know the answers. I know that, right? But you've now graduated through the game and you're way farther. All of the challenges are more difficult and more more intense, more challenging to get through.
And you will not pass the level until you actually get through the challenge, and the wisdom or whatever you add to your character, whatever bonus things you get by passing that level, cannot be done without fighting and going and pushing through that challenge. The gift is always on the other side of challenge.
Yeah.
And you have to go through it in order to get the gift. That's why we can't say, why did I get stuck there? Well, you didn't have the knowledge and the wisdom and the life lessons that the universe beat you up over until you finally got it and you finally extracted that lesson, which allows you to then level up.
And if we were to say choose your own adventure, I think deep down within all of us, we're all adventurers. Sometimes life gets very monotonous. You get stuck in the same cadence, the same thing, Groundhog's Day. It can really help to add a level of adventure to your life. Whether you're trying a new sport, or picking up rock climbing, or getting ready for a vacation, or advancing yourself in a relationship, whether you're trying something new that is completely outside of the box, where you will have new experiences. You can't play a video game and play the same level over and over again because you get so bored you never want to play the game again and you just retire it. You have to keep adding adventure and excitement to your life in order to stay fulfilled. And that could be challenging.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes we can make that mundane, monotonous, repetitive things that are necessary. We can change it by reframing it as an adventure. Can you make it adventurous? Good example. My family was just in Denmark and they were traveling, and the day they were leaving, the trains they were all electric. Power line went down. They could not get to the airport in time. And they were traveling with two little kids. And my sister totally reframed it. Like, instead of it being chaos and a disaster, all right, kids, we're going on an adventure. We have no idea how we're going to get to the airport, but it's up to us to go figure this out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild, but this is the adventure. And they loved it. They're like, oh, sweet. Instead of panicking and freaking out, we're not going to get to the airport. We're going to have to sleep on the floor. Oh, this is the worst. Mm-hmm. No, she reframed it as, we're going to go on an adventure. And right away, they're like, hell yeah, I'm game. Let's go on an adventure.
Yeah.
How are we going to get to the airport? You have to take 5 trains. Plus, you have to lift all the heavy bags and do all these things and run around. And then you're going to take a detour. But then it's like a mission. And the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Totally reframed the situation, which could have been a disaster.
One thing I really like about the way we travel, too, is that when we take trips, yes, we have objectives and tasks that we need to fulfill, but we leave it very open for free-flowing and adventure.
Yeah.
What are we doing today? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. And as the day progresses, you're doing all of the things versus like, okay, at 6 o'clock we need to be here, 7, because you don't know the place.
No.
Like, just explore, adventure, see things. You never know who you're going to meet or where you're going to be.
And some of the best times that we've ever had were just completely circumstantial, pop up out of nowhere. What are the odds? And bam. No, we had no plans. We couldn't have scripted this. Nobody could have scripted this.
And that's when you have the most fun. We recently went to a gala, and honestly, we didn't even know that it was like a dressed up event.
Oh, yeah. Black tie.
So we went in 2 Budo Brothers shirts, white sneakers, and a blazer, just like we are 2 dudes starting an app.
Yeah. Totally. We did look like 2 guys that just started an app.
People are there in bow ties, and the women are dressed up
to the nines.
Yeah. And we roll in, and we're just chatting and shooting the shit with everybody, and we figure out it's a blockchain event, and we're just talking about e-commerce, but we had the best time. We ended up going to this amazing spot we learned about within our own city, and we had cocktails with some individuals from the event after. It was a fantastic night.
So organic, so just saying yes. Hey, do you guys want to go to this really cool spot I know? We didn't even have to like, well, I should probably check. Yes. Before you even finish the sentence, like, yeah, we're vibing. We're having a great time. Let's go on an adventure.
Yeah. And it only happens when you free yourself up enough to say yes to those things. If we're like, actually, I got to be somewhere in half an hour, so I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And it's that balance, though, because sometimes you do have to be somewhere in a half an hour.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, sorry, I got to go.
But you can't just be an adventurer all the time. You'd never
course.
get anything done.
And we know people like that.
Yes.
That you good luck nailing them down.
Yes. It's like nailing ooze to the wall.
Mm-hmm. So it's that balance of structure and free flow and knowing when it's adventure time.
You know what it reminds me of is the perfect jab. The perfect jab is a mixture of your ability to be fluid and move fluid and add tension at the right moments, like a whip.
Snap.
Right? That snap. You can't be too strong the whole time and too rigid, but you can't be too loosey-goosey or you don't get any structure behind it. It's similar to this same concept. You can't just be lily-nilly adventuring all over the place like, everybody, not all those who lost or wander, peace and love. Like, you can't be too much like that, and you can't be too much of a sentinel like, I gotta get done all the time. Go, hustle.
For sure. And sometimes when we get stuck in that repetitive motion, sometimes you do need to shake things up. Sometimes you do need to be like, I need an adventure. Yeah. I need to do something new. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to start something new. I'm going to fill in the blank and open up the first chapter to a new choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. Because we all know that we get locked in repetitive cycles and repetitive loops that we don't have the answers to. And one of the best ways to see and observe yourself within a cycle is to get a fresh set of eyes by looking at it from a different perspective. And you get a different perspective when you change your scenery, change your environment, change your way of thinking by being in something that's outside of the box.
That's very important, to switch it up. And how many times have we gone away and gotten out of the grind of just the trench warfare of running a business, and just all of a sudden, all these downloads, new ideas, new products, new ways of doing things that come to us that would not have come if we were busy getting trench foot in the trenches.
Yeah, it's a really difficult concept to take the time to do it, because you feel like you're falling behind by not focusing on the tasks. Even when we go on these trips or we try something new, like writing a book or doing an event for Jiu-Jitsu or planning a seminar that is outside of our main competence. It's an adventure, yes, but when you're doing the adventure, we just figured this out because we planned an event in Calgary for Sifu Singh called Master Your Center to raise money for the Budo Youth Fund. And this was something that is outside of our major competence. Planning a physical location event and filming it and doing stuff for that. And it was an amazing experience. It felt so good to do. We learned so much about ourselves. But at the same time we're doing that, our business suffered. Our main core business suffered because we're not able to operate it the same way with the same consistency. So it's that give and take.
Yeah, because we had to take our foot off the gas and purely focus on something, because we are not event planners.
No.
We can barely keep a regular calendar in check without missing meetings and, sorry.
Double booking.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there to 3 different things on the same day.
Yeah, because at that moment you're like, I'll be there.
Oh, yeah, it sounds awesome.
But they're all on the same day.
Oh, right. Now you have to pick someone to disappoint.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So it's a matter of getting help where you need it, to allow you to go on these adventures without everything falling apart. But then at the same time, it, like you said, taking yourself out of the grind, out of the rat race, out of the hustle and bustle and the trench warfare to see things from a different perspective.
And there's one other element about adventures that makes them so much better, is having somebody to share it with.
Amen.
It is fun to go on an adventure by yourself, but it's way more fun to share an adventure with somebody else, because you're just in the zone and you're having fun, and you get to share. Did you like that? Oh, what did you think of this food? Oh man, this place was cool. It's just a nice dynamic to share things with people, share experiences with people.
That's it. And life is an adventure. How dare we not treat it like one?
Yeah.
We should be getting out of bed being like, I wonder what's in store today. It's going to be an adventure. I'm on it. Let's go.
And that's one of the blessings of having a camera in your pocket the whole time, and being able to podcast, having all of these things that can record yourself. Yes, it takes you out of the moment. But if you use them as a tool to share some of the places you've been, the mindset, the situations, what you were experiencing with yourself later down the road, or even with maybe your kids or people that might be interested in learning from you later in life, that's so valuable to record that and put that on wax.
100%. Even if it's for no one's eyes. Think of it like a video journal.
Yeah, journaling's changed.
Yeah, like most people can't even write anymore. When was the last time you wrote a letter? or actually like printed out more than an address.
Yeah.
So writing is a dying art, and videography is this new thing. Like everybody has a video camera in their pocket. And you're right. You don't, because it's so often that when the camera comes out, and then you're out of the moment, you're not yourself, it's awkward. But if you can if you can treat it as if, you know what, I'm going to film this because this is what I'm going through right now, and I want my future self to hear this, and this is a video journal, a video diary.
Yeah.
We do it
Yeah.
with our time capsules. So we have some Black Label episodes that have never seen the light of day, but it's literally just for us to get our thoughts on wax. What are we going through? Boy, this is a big challenge, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this is what I'm thinking. We just, instead of us talking about these deep topics and leaving it to the ether, we record it. And we know, because it's been valuable for us, because we've been doing it for so long, when we go to our annual general meeting and we film the last one, we're like, oh man, I can't even believe we thought that was a problem. Ooh, didn't even think of that. It's so valuable to keep that as a journal, at least at the bare minimum, as a reference point to how far you have come and how you have grown.
Love that. Budo Brothers Challenge.
Start a video journal.
Wow.
Bust out the phone and just talk about what you're going through to yourself. Literally pretend like no one's ever going to see it. And if down the road, when you can look at it and you can laugh and you want to share what you were worried about at the time, now that it seems so meaningless, but you were losing sleep over it, and you actually think that lesson could help someone else, it's your duty to share that. It's your duty to go spread and help other people get through their own things after you've put on your own oxygen mask.
Love that. And if you want the tactical way to do it, upload them to Google Drives or Google Photos or Dropbox and just pile them up in there. And nobody needs to see it
Yep.
but you. All right. Until next week.
See you then.